Hey guys, this is Illusionist Jason Bishop. I am back with another discussion on magic. In this case, I pulled up Hans Klok, World's Fastest Illusionist. This is where I watch a piece of magic from online and then I give you my thoughts on it as a professional illusionist. I've been really fortunate and blessed to be a professional illusionist for well over 10 years right now. I started in Pennsylvania and did the Caesar resorts and other resorts in the Poconos, and then I worked with the Rap Agency in the Catskills, and that's where I cut my teeth, and then theaters and performing arts centers. So now I bring up videos online and I give you guys my thoughts about these particular videos as a professional illusionist. So in this case we have Hans Klok, who is also an illusionist. The World's Fastest Illusionist is what this is called. I think I have seen this before a couple times actually. I think he's trying to break some non-existent record of doing the most illusions in the shortest amount of time, and I don't say that in a negative way. Hans Klok is very fast. I think he's, as an illusionist goes, he's a fantastic illusionist for straight illusions, meaning large props, making people levitate, disappear, those types of things, if we're going to define illusion in that particular way, which is pretty common in magic. Let's check out Hans Klok and see what he does. Here we go. This is amazing, frankly. It's kind of amazing. Just the breakneck speed that they are going at here. I don't know if a young illusionist could really have executed this, because Hans has done these particular illusions probably hundreds, maybe thousands of times. I mean, I remember I was a kid, and he still looks pretty young here, but I was a kid and I saw him on TV doing these things, and he did it at a very fast speed back then too. Not quite like this, but this is for some sort of TV show to get, do the most illusions in the shortest amount of time kind of a thing. But there's a high skill level here that he can do this in this speed. The other thing that I find that's interesting is a lot of TV studios that use a wider angle lens, etc. The sets are a lot smaller than they really appear on television. So this must be a pretty large studio, because what they've done is they've laid out the illusions across the stage, and they're bringing some on and off stage kind of quickly, but not that many, because these are very big pieces of magic. Some of them can weigh hundreds of pounds. They've got metal edges, they've got glass on them, etc. And just the sheer crew that you would need to move this stuff, it would kind of get really dangerous. They might not even have the wing space for some of this stuff, frankly. So you assemble it and lay it out on stage like that, and it just lets Hans get to it quickly. So once he gets to the piece of magic, he already knows how to do it. The women that he worked with there, Natalie Hoop, I think it was, and there was another, I don't know her name, the lady who looks like an evil queen. They had been with him for years. I believe, unfortunately, Natalie died a couple years ago. These ladies were really really, really skilled, and you can see the sharpness of their motions, you can see the energy they have, the fitness they have, and they're ready to do that illusion when he gets over there, so they can get under this time limit that they have here. Anyway, really high skill level, lots of energy. I mean, he's got to be done with this thing. When he finishes that last trick, I bet you this dude is going to be super out of breath. That might be an illusion on itself, but in this case, I don't think it is, because this is a physical feat to do this much stuff and to concentrate on what you're doing and make sure you're not getting hurt and make sure all the techniques are there and make sure your timing is there. I mean, this requires a lot of concentration to pull this off. Obviously, I don't think a lot of people should be doing this kind of thing in their show, because would it be that artistic? I'm not so sure. It's not my taste that way. But for a television show like this, yeah, absolutely. It's fun. It's interesting. I think it brings good attention to magic, that people would be interested in seeing a television show like this to some degree. It's kind of cool. So really impressive, frankly. We're going to see what he does next. I love that. I thought that was great. It almost took too long to get him in the chains, but that's the great part, is like it really took a while to put those chains on, and then he is out of there so quick. I actually did a version of this particular type of trick when I was just starting out in magic, actually. And I know we got it from some other illusionist, and we had to repaint it our own way and make it our own, as all young magicians do. And we used some chains as well and stuff, and you struggle to get out and stuff. But we got out very, very quickly. I mean, it was very quick. This particular piece of magic is known for being really quick in the transformation that way. But I don't even know if his is even quicker, frankly. And I love the fact that the fabric comes off, it goes around a track, and then he rips the fabric off as well, because it's just another dramatic level. So anyway, a lot of energy, and I just love the speed of that after being chained up in so many chains and taking a while to be chained up like that. It's pretty impressive, frankly, how quickly he did that. So great job on that. I also love that he and his assistants, even his partners on stage, know where the cameras are, and they flick the cloth at it, or they get up close at the camera as they're moving. It's just a sign of a professional. It's just a little more dramatic. It brings the viewer in a little bit, creates some depth in the camera, and so I just think that's a neat little addition. And that sort of shows the awareness of Illusionist right there. He reached down and he grabbed that cloth that was in his way, or it might be in his way for the next piece that he's doing. So he grabbed the cloth and he threw it out of his way. The wall is kind of close to them, so maybe it got snagged a little bit there and fell down in his path. And so as an illusionist, he's lighting the fire. He's making sure that's okay. He's thinking about what comes next, what he has to do next, and is everything happening correctly with this illusion that he can perform the next piece. And while he's doing all of that, he still has to reach down and pick up that cloth and clear it out of the way so he doesn't trip on it later or nobody gets hurt on it later. So this is sort of the way illusionists have to think, and a lot of performers. You kind of almost see all the way around you. and you have to anticipate the thing you need down the road, not just what's happening now, because you mess up something now or leave something in the way now, and you can get tripped up on it or slip on it or what have you down the road. If you're an illusionist or a magician or a dancer or what have you, and you do something in some water or soda or whatever you're using on stage, liquid gets on the floor, you have to be conscious of that and have a tech or something come out and clean that up, because maybe in the next trick, you know, you slip or your onstage partner slips. They're not aware that that's there. Hans is such a pro that he's conscious of all of this, and he knows how to mitigate issues like this. So let's see what happens with this. He just stepped exactly where that cloth was. When he went around the back there, he's doing a flourish, he does sort of a turn, and he opens up the door to show that there's nobody through there, and he stepped exactly where that cloth was. And in the motion of going around the back, he might have stepped on that cloth and completely slipped had he not previously moved that cloth. You can go back and look, his foot lands almost exactly where that cloth would have been, and he knew that it was going to be there and that it might cause a hazard and he might slip on it, and so he moved it ahead of time in just that moment. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's move on.
Hans Klok and the Divas of Magic!
Absolute pros. Those are professionals. They've done this a million times. They know exactly what to do. And knowing how to do, you know, a particular illusion or piece of magic in a comfortable setting and doing it in that setting tens or hundreds or thousands of times allows you to deviate later on. So this isn't exactly how they would do these particular routines in this particular order with the staging or blocking, you know, where people are standing, or how they enter or cross a stage, walk across a stage. So anyway, this may not be exactly how they do it, and I'm sure it isn't how they do it, but because they know the individual act so well, that makes it modular in this kind of setting. So I'm sure they sat down for, you know, maybe a few hours even, and said, we'll do these particular ones. You're going to come from stage left, you'll come from stage right, they'll cross this way, you'll be ready for the next trick this way. But only because they've done these routines hundreds of times are they really able to combine this stuff in that modular way. And I'm sure it was a little bit challenging. I mean, these ladies are running around and getting ready for this thing and that thing and pushing on the next thing and then getting in the next, you know, participating in the next illusion, etc. So I thought it was really fun. You know, you couldn't watch a show that happened at that speed for an hour or, you know, 30 minutes or 90 minutes or something. It would be exhausting to you mentally. But for a short period of time like that, this was like 5 minutes or something, or 6 minutes or something, and he did 6 or 7 illusions. I don't remember what it was, in a short period of time. It's pretty amazing. It's interesting. I don't know if it'd be a great way to kick off a live show, but it certainly would get your attention. And for the speed in the background, they're using like bursts of flame, and obviously the lighting and the music has this sort of driving, you know, beat to it as such. So anyway, I thought they did a great job for what it was. I thought they did a great job for the TV show. I'm sure the studio audience really enjoyed it, and the people at home probably enjoyed it as well. I liked watching it. I thought it was cool. I think Hans usually has a pretty good taste in the illusions that he chooses. He really chooses illusions to perform that I think are pretty entertaining. They're amazing. They're quick. Their plot lines are simple. You know, there's a cage, there's fire in it, you pull the cloth down, the cloth is out of a flashy material, and then there's a beautiful woman in there, and she's a great dancer, so she's able to, you know, kick open that door and reach out there and make the illusion more three-dimensional, and then she comes out and she just holds herself in this amazing way and spins away whatever she does, and then he moves on to the next thing. So, I mean, the dude's a pro. He's at the very top of the illusionist game that way. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to execute it. That's my discussion of Hans Klok, the world's fastest illusionist. So thank you guys for watching this. I do appreciate that. If you enjoyed this video, destroy that like button. If you'd like to see more, then hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified as well. And we will see you in the next one.